Here's how you can get a low interest rate. Keep watching.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. We're the Hutch Homes Group, and it is our Monday housing market update. And with interest rates at a 14-year high, naturally, there's a lot of buyers that maybe have they're out of the market, or they're just really, really nervous about the higher interest rate and affordability. So we have one of our trusted mortgage professionals, Stephanie Levine from Neo Home Loans. Hello. She's going to walk us through some really, really great options for buyers to have a little bit more of an affordable monthly payment in this market today.
Rate buy downs have always been available to buyers. And right now there are a few really unique options that can help your affordability. But first of all, Stephanie, what is a rate buy down?
Yeah, thanks, Michelle, for asking that question, because it's such a great tool with affordability at the highest it's ever been. A rate buy down might be a term that you're familiar with as discount points. So discount points is an upfront fee that a borrower can pay to have a lower interest rate and therefore a lower monthly payment. So for example, you spend an extra $10,000 to buy the rate down and you save $250 a month on your monthly payment. So then the question is, does that make sense? Right? You pay $10,000 a day and then you save $250 every month. So you have a lot of months in order to make up that money. And on a 30-year fixed loan, typically over holding it, you're going to save some money. So there's this permanent buy down, and then there's also a temporary buy down. And I would love to walk you through a chart that I have for the temporary buy down.
Yes.
The
Temporary buy down is so hot right now.
You've heard buzzwords like 2-1 buy down.
Right. So what does all this mean? So you can see my screen. I'm just going to walk you through this because it's much more impactful to see how this works. So we are using this medium loan amount purchase price of $527. And let's say your interest rate today is 6.25. On a 30-year fixed loan, or a 30-year temporary 2-1 buy down is what it's called. Your principal and interest payment would be $3,246.
This is what percentage down? Sorry, what's your down payment here?
I didn't even do a purchase price.
Okay, sorry.
So this would just be off the loan amount.
Okay, cool. No problem.
And that would just be your principal and interest. So you're in a fixed loan and your payment is $3,246. The first year of your mortgage, you're going to have a rate of 4.25%. So the first year your mortgage, your monthly payment is going to be $25.93, which is saving you each month $652 a month.
Wow.
The second year your rate goes to 5.25, your payment's $29.11. And then year 3 through 30, it's fixed at your 6.25. So it creates a gradual monthly payment increase each month. In order to do this program, you must have a seller credit concession. The seller must contribute towards your closing costs. And in this scenario, you would need $11,849 from the seller. And that will buy down your points for the first 2 years.
It's a great strategy.
So who would be good? Who's a good candidate for something like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a lot of people this could be useful for. You could have the couple where maybe both of them aren't working today and the kids just got back to school and the second partner is going back to work in the next 2 years. You know that you're going to have an additional income coming in. Another scenario might be maybe you can make the higher payment today, but you have some other debt that you want to pay off. And so you can use this 2 years, free up some cash flow, pay off your debt so that in 3 years when your payment goes up, your overhead and what you have to spend each month is more affordable with your buckets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And what's the appeal of doing it temporarily as opposed to just buying the discount points and getting the loan monthly reduced at a certain price for the life of the loan?
Great question. So a permanent buy down, most people hold their loan on average for, 7 years. So you may have a 30-year fix. Most people only hold their mortgage for 7 years. It's also going to depend on what we believe is going to happen in the economy and the market over the next few years. And it depends what's going to happen in the economy over the next few years. So if we believe that
Stephanie,
rates,
yeah. Can I ask a question about that?
yes,
Well, I see lots of people being concerned about committing to these high interest rates, and I hear other folks saying, don't worry about interest rates, they're going to correct. We're going to see a change. What do you think is going to happen?
so I follow a lot of analysts and really smart people that follow the economy, and everybody I follow says that we're going to hit into this recession in the sometime next year in 2023. And historically, if we go into a recession, we're going to see interest rates drop. That's the lever that the feds have to help get inflation under control.
Yeah.
So if we go into this recession next year, we're going to see interest rates drop, and the speculation is in the mid-4s.
Yeah.
So I believe that if you did a permanent buy down today, you spent all that money to buy your rate down, you're going to refinance in less than 2 years, and you're going to waste that money that you spent up front.
Yeah.
So the advantage with the temporary buy down is this money sits in an escrow account.
Yeah.
So if you were to refinance in the next 2 years and you had money left in that bucket, it's going to go directly towards a principal reduction.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the temporary buy down, in my mind, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
You pay the lower month each month, and any additional money still goes towards that reduction. Where the permanent buy down, you're leaving money on the table, and you should have never paid 2 points to buy your rate down.
Mhm.
I know
Yeah.
that a bunch of people who are hearing this are going to think to themselves, well, why would I even enter a buyer scenario right now when I could just wait for interest rates to drop when they're going to drop in 2023? Let me tell you why you shouldn't wait. Do you remember when everybody was having to compete for houses and offer over list price? Well, if everybody's waiting for interest rates to drop, then that's the scenario we're going to see again. So it's much better to buy a home now, make a plan for when interest rates do drop, if they drop, to be able to refinance. And if you get in contact with us today, message us today, we can hook you up with Stephanie or one of our trusted mortgage lender people in the know, and we can get you into that home today without having to worry about the competition that could come at a lower interest rate.
Yeah, Stephanie, what were you saying yesterday? Like most of the realtors are buying houses right now.
I feel like everyone in my sphere is in the middle of a transaction. I mean, you see more and more people getting their offers accepted at list price or below, and getting money for concessions to buy the rate down, cover closing costs. It's ideal to buy now.
Yeah,
You're not
there's a
stuck
real-
with your mortgage rate for 30
If-
years.
Yeah,
And if the
that's-
rate doesn't go down, like if it did go up, you're at least, it's not like an arm where you're subject to the rate of the future. You are locked in at
You're locked in.
today's rate. So in 3 years, you go to what it is today.
That's a really good point, John.
And you're qualified for that mortgage payment. Unlike,
Yeah.
during the Great Recession, we had all these bad mortgages. People were qualified for the payment that they were getting, not that adjustable or the future payment. And that's what caused a lot of issues. So this seems
Really
like
good
a really
to know
solid
that.
program. And I
Mhm.
will say, not every lender is doing this right now. So that's another really important thing about Stephanie's. She's doing it.
I'll also say, like, just from my own experience, you don't even have to do this buy down rate if you're not really like, if that's not an option for you, if you don't want to come to the table with a little bit more money and like at closing, or ask for concessions if you think it's competitive. So, I mean, you can just refinance in a couple of years and see where the rates are then. So there's so many options that I think a lot of people should talk to us about, and people like Stephanie, and we'll connect you. So stay tuned for more info like this, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
That's an important piece.
Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us. Have a good week, everyone.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Bye. Thank you.